All right, hey people. Today is July 5th, 2025. My name is Chris Lucas. This is my show, The Protestant View Live. Real quick, I want to play a piece of this debate that Charles recently had with Truth and Telos Ministry. And this is on the topic of once saved, always saved. Charles is someone who believes in free grace. He's got a channel called Layman Seminary, which is a free grace seminary. His opponent does not believe in free grace. And he goes by Truth and Telos Ministries, right? Now, as people know, me and Charles are supposed to debate on Standing for Truth on September 27th. And the topic's going to be on, are covenants salvational? Now, to me, it's an obvious yes. Like, I don't know why anyone would ever say it. And I was actually shocked when I heard Charles in this debate say that covenants are not about salvation. And I missed his opening presentation because he actually says it in the first 30 seconds, which I'm getting ready to play right now. And then we'll analyze it.
All right, let's go. So the topic for this debate is once saved, always saved biblical. I'm going to be arguing yes, it is. Okay, tonight I'll be arguing why a Christian cannot lose his salvation. My opponent, professing preterist, who I'll call professing for short in this debate, believes that salvation can be lost if you fail to remain in covenant with God. My opponent misunderstands covenants, assuming that they're about salvation. I could focus on explaining how covenants function, but I'll save that for a future debate. Instead, I want to focus on something that comes up in these debates. I'm talking about how the claim that the present tense means one will continue to believe. I will show you.
Okay, right off the bat, this seems premeditated. He's attacking his opponent's foundation, right? Because the reason why me and Charles are debating in the first place was I said, um, like, after these two got finished debating, this channel has a Q&A portion after the debate. So, and I said, well, Charles, I think you lost the debate because you said covenants are not salvational, or you say the covenant's not salvational. And he's said, I don't know what I'm talking about. And then I think he challenged me to a debate. If not this, he challenged me to a debate in the comment section, which if you read through the comments, you can see the challenge. And I do plan on showing that, but I want to keep this video short, okay? And just get to my main point about why this topic's important and why we're debating it. And because we also got in this argument, if you read, he's got a channel where he has other people do shows for him, but they all believe a similar thing. And one of the shows is called, and this is his channel, where you can see his name right here, the Layman Seminary. And this title of the show that was recently done is called Covenants, Sociological or Soteriological. And so basically it's this guy Kurt, who Charles is good friends with, is saying that covenants are not about salvation. That's what soteriological means, salvation, right? And it says no, and so they're saying no, it's just something social. It has nothing to do with salvation. Covenant has absolutely nothing to do with salvation. And in this comment section, I was basically asking him about details about our debate, if he's okay with the time. He's basically telling me I got to go contact Donnie. He doesn't want to talk about it, which it's weird. It sounds like he's trying to avoid, answering me. Which some people say, Chris, that sounds like he's trying to back out. And I don't think he's gonna back out. I mean, if he backs out, he probably shouldn't be debating on that channel anymore, because he's going to make Donnie look bad, because then it's going to make Donnie look like Donnie's just trying to protect Charles and artificially pump up his image by not by not making Charles engage in foundational points of his arguments, and by allowing Charles to just assert that he's right about the foundational points of his arguments, but Charles doesn't have to defend them, and Donnie can keep having these empty worded debates, right? Because these would all be empty debates after that point, and then it would make Donnie sound like Donnie's just trying to promote Charles and artificially make him look like something he's not, and then it would start to look like he wouldn't look like standing for truth ministries anymore. He would look like protecting lies ministries. And I think that would be a really that'd be just a jerk thing for Charles to do, right? Like, you'd have to be one evil person to have some guy that's nice enough to feature you in all these debates, and then you're going to make him look bad by backing out of a debate about your crucial points, and then start to make it look like Donnie's protecting you, right? Like, you'd make Donnie look bad. And it's like, why invite that, right? So when you guys say, "Oh, Charles is going to back out," I'm like, well, I don't think he's going to back out unless he hates Donnie's guts or something. Because also, keep in mind, I plan on promoting Donnie's channel a lot, right? And I plan on telling people, "Oh, Donnie's got one of the best creation ministries in the world, probably second to only Answers in Genesis," right? And I plan on giving flyers out to churches, and I actually want to see Donnie have at least 300 to 1,000 live viewers. My goal is to have him have 1,000 live viewers, because we all know the more live viewers, the more opportunities Donnie will have to get like super chats and donations, right? And I'd like to see Donnie rewarded, because I have kids, I work a lot, Donnie has kids, and it's like, you're taking time out from your family. This is tough to coordinate all this. Um, and I'm not sure what Donnie's situation is, but that's hard on his wife also, right? And so it's like, so I'm trying to be cool and make sure, like, oh, let's at least promote his show, and promote his channel, and make sure he's getting something out of it, right? So that's why I said I don't think Charles would do that, because I don't think Charles is a low life, okay? And Charles would be a low life if he winds up backing out of this to try to protect his, reputation. But think about this too. Charles thinks he's actually right about this. So if he backed out of this would be kind of like saying, "Oh, he actually thinks he's wrong about this, and he's actually it would make him look kind of underhanded, right?" And then if he does more debates on Donnie's channel after backing out of this, it would make Donnie look underhanded. It's like it's just better he debates, right? And plus, it's like, why would you run away from a claim that's central to the foundation of your entire theology, right? So let's analyze this again. So Charles says, "Tonight I will be arguing why a Christian cannot lose his salvation. My opponent believes salvation can be lost if you fail to remain in covenant with God." Okay, so that's his opponent's foundation of his argument. Now Charles says, "My opponent misunderstands covenants, assuming they're about salvation. I could focus on explaining how covenants function, but I'll say that for another debate." Well, that seems to be a key issue in this debate, and you're taking it off the table. And your arguments also depend on it, Charles, but you're taking it off the table. And so now what it's creating is this appearance that, well, if my opponent starts bringing this up, he's sidetracking from the actual debate. Hold on a second. Wait, Charles. If all of his arguments are about the covenant, this is central. This is not a side issue. But this comment right here makes it sound like this is a side issue. We can debate this some other time. Let's just assert that I'm right. That for right now. It's like, no. So actually, what if he's wrong about this, though? See, Charles is actually saying this is important, and he's just saying his opponent misunderstands it. And because his opponent misunderstands it, all of his other arguments, if you look up here, my opponent believes salvation can be lost if you fail to remain in covenant with God. So if covenant is about salvation and is tied in with salvation, then his opponent's got a good argument. And if Charles is wrong, Charles' arguments fall apart because he would then have to address this part of the argument. But see, now Charles is getting to sidestep this argument by saying I could focus on explaining how covenants function, but I'll say that for a future debate. No, Charles, you actually needed to prove that in this debate how covenants function. And what Charles will later on say is that they're sociological and they have nothing to do with salvation. Now, you people tell me, is that a key point to Charles's argument? Is that a key point to Truth and Telos, his opponent's argument? Are these key points? When he debated Robertson Genesis, same thing came up. It's going to come up in his upcoming debate. Or it needs to come up. Maybe he sidesteps it just like he sidestepped it here. Or attempted to sidestep it. I don't feel like it properly got addressed. I don't know. Do any of you who watched this debate, do you feel like it got properly addressed, this issue? Did he ever talk about it? So, I mean, I'm wondering. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think, does this look like a big issue? Hold on, before I go. The word covenant was mentioned 112 times in this debate prior to the Q&A. If you want to count the Q&A portion, which is the part after the debate, it was mentioned 168 times. So it was mentioned 56 times more. Does this sound like the word covenant? If it's not salvational, or if it is salvational, does that sound like it might be important if it's brought up 112 times during a debate? I don't see how he can look at me with a straight face and go, how can you say I lost the debate if I'm wrong about that? So anyway, that's the end of my video. I'm going to do some more videos and elaborate on this some more, but I just wanted to show that and see what you all think.